Hello, my name is Chloe and I'm an apprentice florist here at Longacres in Bagshot, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make an autumn wreath using our D.I.Y wreath kit. So I have some examples here of what we can be making today. I've got one here and another larger one here. Now these are both made on the same 12-inch frame, but you can make yours as big or as small as you want today. You can also purchase smaller or larger wreath frames in our shop, including heart frames. In your wreath kit you will find a mix of fresh materials, a wreath frame, some twine and moss. You can also find other materials and equipment in our floristry department. So to start, we're going to be making a hook for our frame. So you can either do this using your twine, or today I'm going to be using some natural ribbon. So you just want to measure out a long enough piece and then cut it. And then you just want to tie this onto your wreath frame and knot it in place. And then do another knot just to create a loop and cut off the excess. Next, we're going to be taking our twine and tying this onto our wreath frame as well. So you just want to double knot this to secure it in place as well. So now you just want to take a handful of moss and mould it into a sausage-like shape and lay it onto your wreath frame, and take your twine and bind it to your frame, pulling it tightly to secure it in place. Again, we're taking another handful of moss, moulding it into a sausage shape and then lying it flat onto our design, and taking your twine and pulling it tight. So once you have covered the inside and outside of your wreath frame, it should look something like this. Don't worry about how it looks at this stage, because you are going to be covering it with your fresh materials. So now we're just going to be making our clusters. So you just want to be taking some of your heavier foliage to start and layering it with some other fresh materials. So here I'm taking some oak leaves, some eucalyptus cinerea and some pistache, and you just really want to be making some texture in your design. Some Scabiosa seedhead pods and panicum grass, and then a small amount of Proposmia. You can either bind this with some wire or just place it directly onto your wreath frame. Our wire is available to purchase in our floristry department. And then taking your scissors, you just want to cut all your stems so that they are the same length, and place it onto your wreath frame so that the stems are on the moss. So repeating this step, I'm going to again take some of my heavy foliage and layer on my other fresh materials. also including wheat this time to vary the materials I'm using. Cutting my stems, placing it onto my design at an angle, and then binding it on with my twine. And now I'm just going to repeat this step using pre-made clusters I've already made. So as you can see, our wreath is coming together now. So we just want to keep layering and adding texture to our design, like so. So now that I have covered my whole frame, I'm just going to take some extra bits where I feel like there's bits missing and wedge them in. So just taking some more wheat, I can just wedge it into the moss and fill in any gaps that I can see. So I'm just wedging it into the moss, like so. And you can do this as much or as little as you want. And when you're happy with how it looks, you can just cut off your twine and tie it around your frame, just to secure it in place. And cut off the excess. So here you go, a lovely autumn wreath. Now if you missed your wreath every few days, you'll be able to keep your moss moist and your foliage alive for longer. Thank you for watching, and remember to tag us in your photos of your lovely autumn wreaths.